I would tell girlfriend to move on to step 4, which means to move in for the kill and tear his ass up. Mr. Trump, I'm just gonna tell you this. I have never been on a team with someone and they make you feel so uncomfortable and like they would stab you in your back in a heartbeat.
This will flip the way you see Vivica A. Fox forever. Behind the flashing lights and those big movie roles, there's a wild ride full of secrets, scandals, and serious strength. Word on the street? Some say she used her connections with powerful producers to score parts in major films. And that breakup with 50 Cent, it blew up live on the radio, straight up chaos. Vivica's been through the storm and still stands tall. She got hit with a lawsuit claiming she jacked dancers from someone else's show. Then came the fiery feud with Kenya Moore. Those two did not hold back. On top of that, the gossip mill keeps spinning about what goes on behind closed doors in her life. Her rise to the top proves that fame comes with a price, and some of those wounds, they never fully heal. In Hollywood, rumors come fast, but Vivica, she's seen it all. Vivica A. Fox wasn't spared from the whispers either. In the film game, folks started buzzing that she might have had some real close ties with certain big shot directors and producers, the ones who call the shots on who gets cast in the hottest movies. And when her roles in hits like Set It Off and Soul Food blew up, the rumors only got louder. People weren't saying she lacked talent. Nah, they just kept dropping hints that maybe she got a little extra help behind the curtain. Nothing solid ever came out. No names, no receipts. But the rumors, they refused to die down. Then came the early 2000s, when things got even messier. Anonymous posts started popping up online, throwing serious shade. These posts claimed Vivica had so-called private deals with some Hollywood insiders. They used the term backdoor connections, making it sound like she scored roles through hush-hush friendships or maybe even romantic ties. It painted a shady picture, even though no one ever showed real proof. And Vivica, she stayed quiet. She never admitted to any of it, but the streets kept talking anyway. Vivica didn't let the gossip throw her off. She stayed on her grind and kept the cameras rolling, but that didn't stop another rumor from creeping up. This time, folks started whispering about how she used her looks and bold attitude to her advantage. Insiders in the industry were saying Vivica wasn't just stunning. She knew how to own the room, especially during steamy on-screen scenes. That same confidence, some claim she brought it into auditions too, flirting, acting seductive, just to catch the eye of casting directors and producers. Again, no receipts, no one ever went on record, but gossip columns, they ran wild with it. Writers started linking her powerful, sexy roles on screen with how she carried herself behind the scenes. They painted this image of her being just as fiery and bold off camera, like that was her secret weapon to win people over. But let's be real. Just because someone crushes a role with confidence doesn't mean they play that same game in real life. Vivica hustled for every role she got. She showed up, delivered, and didn't stop no matter who tried to drag her name. Then came the shocker early 2000s. Vivica A. Fox and rapper 50 Cent hit the scene as a couple, and fans went crazy. Back in the early 2000s, Vivica A. Fox and 50 Cent were both on fire. 50 had just exploded onto the music scene with hits like In Da Club, and Vivica was already a Hollywood queen with her name all over big-time films. When the two of them hit the red carpet together at the 2003 MTV Video Music Awards, the whole place lit up. Sure, the night had major performances, Beyonce and Jay-Z tearing it down with Crazy in Love, but Vivica and 50, they snatched the spotlight just by showing up side by side. That moment was a game changer. It was the first time fans saw them as a real couple, and the buzz was instant. But here's the real tea. 50 Cent had his eyes on Vivica before they even linked up. At the 2003 BET Awards, while accepting his award, he gave her a bold shout out, thanking her for that stunning dress she wore. The crowd went wild, and that move, it had everybody talking. Right after that, his team reached out to her people to set up a connection. Vivica later revealed they started talking on the phone, and just like that, the spark turned into something real. Vivica and 50 Cent were all in once they linked up. They clicked fast and started dating not long after. Things took off in March 2003. And just a few months later, they were already stepping out in public, turning heads everywhere they went. But even though it looked like a power couple moment, the fairy tale didn't last long. By fall 2003, it was already over. Vivica later opened up about what really went down. She said they moved way too fast. Everything went public before they even had time to really build something real. One minute they were vibing, and the next the cameras were on them, fans were talking, and the media wouldn't let up. Everyone had an opinion, and that constant pressure, it pushed them apart. Vivica believes that if they had just kept it low-key for a little longer, they might have made it. And here's the part that hits deep. Vivica didn't throw shade. She actually said she loved 50 Cent for real. Even after the split, she called him the love of her life. She spoke about him with straight-up respect and softness that showed it was never just a fling. It meant something to her. Vivica once said that 50 Cent still holds a special place in her heart, and that right there shows just how deep her feelings ran. But sadly, love alone wasn't enough to survive the chaos that came with fame, the pressure from fans, the media, and all the noise from outside. It was too much. Way too many people got involved in something that should have stayed private between the two of them. And the way it ended, that's where things turned cold. One of the most painful parts, Vivica said she found out they were officially over the same day the rest of the world did. After the World Music Awards in October 2003, 50 Cent went on the radio and announced the breakup without even telling her first. Vivica didn't see it coming. A friend had to call her and break the news. She was blindsided, hurt. She never got that face-to-face moment, no closure, just a radio announcement. She said 50 switched back into tough guy mode, acting like none of it mattered, even though they both really cared for each other. That breakup, ice cold. Over the years, things got rocky again. Vivica and 50 tossed a few shady comments at each other in public. They had some petty back and forth that hit the blogs and headlines. But in 2017, they finally squashed the beef, talked it out, made peace. Vivica said she was truly happy they could move forward and leave the drama in the past. Vivica still holds on to those memories, even if things didn't last. Meanwhile, 50 Cent has moved on and is currently in a relationship with Jamira Cuban Link Haynes, a fitness influencer who's also studying law, but out of nowhere, a tiny social media comment from 50 Cent sparked major chatter. It all kicked off when a short video of Vivica went viral. She was glowing, laughing, and having a great time at an event. The clip was captioned with a joke saying she was out celebrating a Brazilian butt lift BBL at 60 years old. The internet ate it up, shares, laughs, and tons of compliments flew in. Then 50 Cent jumped in and fans lost it. He reposted the clip and simply added, "Wait, let me see." Just 6 words, but they hit like a bomb. That little comment had people talking nonstop. Was he feeling some type of way? Was this his way of peeking back at the past? After nearly 20 years, fans started wondering if there were still sparks flying behind the scenes. The video that set everything off showed Vivica looking stunning, radiating confidence, beauty, and that signature vibe she's known for. The caption might have been playful, but folks couldn't deny she looked incredible. And when 50 Cent threw in his cheeky response, it shocked fans and had everyone wondering, could the flame be reigniting? 50 Cent didn't say anything shady, just dropped a short, curious comment. But because of their messy history, those few words hit different. Fans immediately started asking, does he still have a soft spot for Vivica? On social media, even the smallest comment can explode, especially when it's two celebs with a romantic past. Back when they dated, some folks accused Vivica of using 50 Cent to boost her career. They claimed she linked up with him just to ride the wave of his rising fame. Blogs and gossip sites ran with the story, stirring the pot like always. But Vivica never said any of that was true. And honestly, only they know what really went down behind closed doors. What we do know is that their connection was real and their breakup stung. But the headlines didn't stop there. Vivica faced even more heat when she got dragged into a legal mess. A man named Jean-Claude Lamar took her to court claiming she stole his dancers and messed up his business. It was a full-blown lawsuit, and the drama around it made waves. She also got caught in controversy over an interview involving some homophobic remarks, something that brought even more eyes and judgment her way. From messy breakups to courtroom battles, Vivica's story is anything but quiet. Lamar was heated. He claimed Vivica didn't just take his dancers, she also trashed his name in the process. The whole situation sounded like a movie script, but it was all too real. According to Lamar, the drama started after he and Vivica worked together on 2 films, Chocolate City and its sequel. These weren't just any indie flicks, they were like a Black version of Magic Mike, made specifically for Black audiences. The cast was stacked with familiar faces like Tyson Beckford, Genuine, and Michael Jai White. Vivica had a role too, bringing her signature flair to the mix. But after filming Rap, Lamar got inspired. Since the movies were all about male exotic dancers, he figured, why not make it happen in real life? He wanted to turn the movie magic into a live show featuring real dancers, performing in front of screaming crowds across the country. He pitched the idea to his investors, but they weren't feeling it. So Lamar went solo and decided to launch it himself. He named the live tour Black Magic Live, and it was all about putting these male dancers on stage, city to city. That's when things went left, and he claimed Vivica undercut the whole operation, took his performers, and left him hanging. Now he was suing, and the fallout straight up messy. While Lamar was grinding to get his live show off the ground, a big opportunity came knocking. A company called Propagate Content showed interest. They wanted to create a reality TV show all about male dancers. But there was a catch. They said the show needed a strong female lead to really sell it. Lamar immediately thought of Vivica A. Fox. She was already tied to the dancer-themed movies and had name power. He figured bringing her in would boost the show's popularity and give it some star energy. Even though Vivica wasn't part of the actual business, the show ended up being called Vivica's Black Magic. Why? Because of legal issues surrounding the name Black Magic Live. They couldn't use it on TV directly, so they rebranded with her name front and center, but that's when the real tension started. Lamar claimed Vivica began pressuring people behind the scenes, telling folks to pick a side. According to him, she warned dancers that if they didn't ride with her, they'd be cut from future seasons of the show. Lamar, now left without key performers, tried to rebuild from scratch. He organized new shows in Southern California to keep things alive. But Vivica, she allegedly posted on social media telling fans not to show up. It turned into a full-on battle behind the curtains, with loyalty, money, and control all on the line. Vivica didn't hold back. She blasted the new shows as fake. And once fans saw her post, many canceled their tickets on the spot. That hit Lamar where it hurt, his pockets. Now he's suing her for slander, libel, and messing with his business. The case is still unfolding, and people are keeping a close eye to see where it goes next. Vivica's never been one to stay quiet. She's bold, fierce, and always says exactly what's on her mind. And when it comes to feuds, her most explosive one was with none other than Kenya Moore. It all kicked off in 2014 on Celebrity Apprentice, a show where celebs team up to complete business challenges. But instead of working together, Vivica and Kenya went head to head. From the jump, they clashed hard, arguing nonstop, throwing jabs and turning every task into a battlefield. Their drama went way past just strategy. It got loud, personal, and messy. Kenya made a low-blow comment, claiming Vivica was having mood swings because of menopause. That one cut deep. Vivica didn't hold back either, throwing shade right back. Then came the biggest blow-up of all. Vivica accused Kenya of stealing her phone. She believed Kenya snatched it and used it to post fake messages on social media, trying to embarrass her in front of the world. Kenya denied everything, saying she'd never pull a stunt like that, but the damage already done. The fallout was brutal, and neither of them walked away without scars. This wasn't just some quick reality TV argument, it turned into a deep, long-running beef between Vivica and Kenya. The tension stuck around for years. Vivica wasn't ready to forgive, and she made that very clear. In 2020, during an episode of Cocktails with Queens, Vivica didn't hold back. She used strong words and let it be known that she was still angry and hurt over the past drama. But by 2021, the energy shifted. On Watch What Happens Live, Vivica surprised everyone. She finally said she was ready to let it go. She revealed that Kenya had actually apologized to her, and Vivica accepted it. She said she was willing to forgive, but she'd never forget. That moment showed just how hard it is to heal from something messy, especially when the whole world is watching. It takes real strength to move on after being publicly disrespected, and Vivica did just that. But that wasn't the end of her headline-making moments. In 2022, Vivica was once again front and center in a huge cultural moment. When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars and the entire world was buzzing, Vivica didn't stay silent. Her reaction sparked another round of debate and proved she's never afraid to speak her truth when the spotlight hits. The world froze for a moment when Will Smith, one of Hollywood's biggest stars, walked on stage and slapped comedian Chris Rock right in front of millions after a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. The internet exploded and everyone had something to say. Vivica A. Fox, she was deeply shaken. On her talk show, Vivica didn't hold back. She said the whole thing broke her heart. What should have been a night of celebration for Black talent turned into a shocking moment of conflict. Vivica called it a black-on-black crime, showing just how seriously she took the situation. But what made her even more upset? Jada's reaction later on. When Jada finally addressed the incident, she didn't really talk about the slap or take accountability. Instead, she shifted the focus to her struggle with alopecia, a condition that causes hair loss. Vivica felt like that moment wasn't the time for that type of deflection. She expected something real, something raw. During an emotional appearance on the Wendy Williams show, Vivica even said she cried. She had hoped Jada would speak with more honesty and compassion. Instead, the Oscars, meant to shine a light on Black excellence in film, got overshadowed by violence, confusion, and chaos. Vivica felt like a major opportunity was lost, and she wasn't the only one. Vivica expected more, way more, from both Will and Jada. As major public figures, she felt they had a responsibility to carry themselves with pride and care, especially since they represent the Black community on a global stage. Even though Will Smith later posted an apology to Chris Rock, Vivica wasn't fully convinced. In his Instagram message, Will admitted he was wrong and said he felt ashamed. "There is no place for violence in this world," he wrote. Some folks accepted it, but Vivica, she wanted more than just a post. She wanted real action, real growth. To her, that moment on stage didn't just hurt two people, it sent shockwaves through a movement built on celebrating Black excellence. It pulled attention away from progress and pride and replaced it with controversy and shame. Vivica's reaction wasn't just personal. It showed how deeply she values her role in the culture. She holds herself and others to a higher standard when the spotlight is on. She's always been about showing strength, especially when it comes to how Black women are portrayed on screen. For years, Vivica has picked roles that highlight real, powerful, complex Black women. And that mission, she's not backing down from it. One of Vivica A. Fox's biggest hits was Two Can Play That Game, which dropped in 2001 and became a major classic. But here's what most people don't know. Vivica almost walked away from it. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. She straight up turned it down because she felt the script didn't treat Black characters with the respect they deserved. She wasn't about to sign on to something that made Black love or Black people look like a joke. Vivica stood her ground. She fought with the filmmakers to rewrite scenes, adjust the dialogue, and shift how the characters acted. She wanted to make sure the relationships felt real, not just entertaining, but authentic. How they talked, how they dressed, how they loved each other. She pushed for all of it to reflect the truth of Black culture. And because she spoke up, the movie hit different. It became a fan favorite and still gets love to this day. She didn't just play a role, she protected the story. Vivica made sure it was something she could stand behind with pride. That kind of dedication, that's one of the big reasons she's still standing strong in Hollywood after all these years. In 2007, she even brought the character back for the follow-up film, Three Can Play That Game, proof that her impact didn't just fade away, it evolved. In 2017, Vivica brought her iconic role of Shantae Smith to the stage for a live tour, turning that fierce relationship expert into a full-on experience. Shantae wasn't just giving advice to women on how to handle men, she was teaching the game. And Vivica admitted that some of those lessons, she actually used them in real life too. She told fans loud and clear, "The best kind of man is one who treats a woman with love, kindness, and real respect." In her words, a man has to earn the right to be called a queen's king. That's the kind of energy Vivica carries both on and off the screen. Because she doesn't just play strong women, she is one. As of now, Vivica's estimated net worth is around $2 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth. And she didn't just stumble into success, she planned for it early. At just 17 years old, while other teens were dreaming about college or marriage, Vivica made it clear, "I'm going to California and I'm going to become a star." And she meant it. She got her start on daytime TV, landing roles in soap operas like Days of Our Lives and The Young and the Restless. That was her first real step into Hollywood in the 1980s. But the road wasn't easy. Right from the start, she ran into walls. Industry folks flat out told her that movies starring Black women wouldn't make money. Still, Vivica kept pushing and proved them all wrong. People in the industry told Vivica straight up, films with Black women wouldn't sell overseas. They said international audiences wouldn't connect. But Vivica didn't let that nonsense stop her hustle. She kept pushing, kept grinding, and never backed down. And look at the world now. Today, Black women like Vivica aren't just on screen. They're writing, directing, and producing. The game has changed, and she helped make that happen. Her movies have pulled in billions at the box office, proof that the stories do matter and do sell worldwide. In 2018, Vivica dropped a book to motivate others. She opened up about her lowest moments, sharing how she hit rock bottom but always found a way to rise again. She turned her pain into power, and she's still standing strong.